All right, Shalom, Shalom, it's the brother Yahweh Shapat, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Alahayanawa by Hashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. Double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well in these scriptures. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Now, I want to get into Job, the 30th chapter, because, I was having a conversation with a family member. I'm not going to, it's not important as to who. I was having a conversation with a family member, and you know, this family member was basically, when my family, I learned to separate this truth from my family a long time ago. That was a problem for me at first. Being a brother coming in, you want to try to wake everybody up, and you think everybody's in reach, but the longer you in this truth, you realize, man, the Lord got some people just set up for destruction. You realize they're not gonna get it, and you learn more how to not cast your pearls before swine. So we was having a conversation, and a lot of the times I just let people talk, like how Jackie Chan said in the first Rush Hour, man. I just let people talk sometimes to see how full of shit they are. And a lot of these people, man, they full of shit in the sense that they full of Esau's bullshit lies, man. Salakia. Excuse me for my rude speech, but me and his family member, we were going back and forth, and they were going into how we ain't been out of the caves that long, and we just evolved and all of this other bullshit, and I'm just sitting back thinking to myself, like, you understand nothing. We were never in the caves. This whole idea that Esau want to push on everybody, that all this, the theory of evolution is bullshit. The theory of Darwinism is bullshit, man. Not even Esau came from a fucking ape. Not even he came from an ape. But he always dwelt in caves. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures speak about this, man. If you look up Mount Petra and you look up the White House, there are very, very heavy similarities in the structure. Esau, the so-called white man, has always liked a cave-like dwelling. You know what I'm saying? In us, the 12 tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, so-called West Indians and Haitians, we're from Jacob. We come from Jacob, which was Esau's brother. Now, these two came out the womb, and Jacob came out looking like his forefathers. Esau came out hairy all over like a red garment. Um, so basically Esau came out with no pigment. You know what I'm saying? They are, they came from that, that's that spirit of Cain coming back. And what did Cain want to do? He wanted to kill Abel, you know. So Cain and Abel, man, that came back around full circle with Jacob and Esau, because Esau wanted to kill Jacob. Their descendant, Esau's descendants, are still, it's a struggle between Esau and Jacob's descendants. That's the whole end of the world thing, man. That struggle between Jacob and Esau, it still persists, and it's the end of the world is centered around those two, their descendants. So, I was listening to her Babylon about how we came out of the caves, and it just prompted me, like, I'm gonna have to do a lesson on that. We never lived in caves. Esau lived in caves, man. So this is Job 30, and I'm gonna start from the top. But now that they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. A lot of people, we don't feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I don't feel like Esau should be able to have pets, because they try to turn out the dog. They try to turn out Esau, get arrested, and you see these things, man, for bestiality. Esau try to turn the fucking dog out, man. And he's been this way. That's why it's written in Job. For the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. We got to remember who we dealing with, or come back to the remembrance of who we're dealing with, man. It says, yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former time, desolate and waste. Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cry after them as after a thief. Hey, so there were many times where one of those times was when Jake came back into power during the time of the Byzantine Empire, the so-called Dark Ages. We pushed Esau into the caves, into the Caucasus Mountains. They were pushed, and basically, they weren't put back in a lower state until the Lord, after that period of close to 1,000 years, the Lord brought them back into power, and they've been in power ever since. So let's see. I believe that's Revelations, the 20th chapter. So this is Revelation 20:1, a little bit of prophecy. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. This is prophecy going into us pushing Esau out of power and pushing him back into the caves. Pushing him back, the Lord putting this man back into a base state, because he's a base man, which we'll get into that in Job, the 30th chapter, when I go back to it. But, this Revelations 20 and 1 through verse 3, that's dealing with prophecy as to how Esau was taken out of power for about close to 1,000 years. And then, I'm going to read verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. So from about the mid 1400s to where we are now, that's that little season. We're living in the rebirthed Roman Empire, if you will. Esau's in power, and he has deceived the nations, and the nations are angry with this man. Esau is deceived. What did the scriptures say? That all have drunken of the cup. What I'm trying to think, man. I don't want to butcher that scripture. Where it talks about the nations drinking of that cup of fornication. I want to get that precept because I don't want to butcher it, so bear with me. I can't Bible Kashah. Let's see. All right, so this is Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So all of these other nations have been poisoned by Babylon the Great, in one way or another. And wine represents philosophies or ideologies in the scriptures. Like this thing of porn. Esau introduced porn to some islanders, some people that had been cut off from humanity. They gave them internet, and the men became addicted to porn, man. Within a month, I forget the time frame it took for it to happen, but this is things that are that was publicized and put into the news. So that's an example of Revelation 18:3. These other nations, they've all taken some form of Babylon's philosophies or ideologies. Those of them who have not been deceived are completely against Babylon the Great, which eventually all of the other nations are going to shoot missiles on this place. But, that's for another lesson. I'll leave that. But, Revelation 20 and 1 through 3, that's where we are now. See, Esau's all cleaned up. He wears a suit. He shaves. But underneath all that, you still just a base man. And your time, your time frame and the time frame for your rulership is coming to an end. And you will be put back in that base state. So let's go back to Job 30. Jake was never in no fucking caves, man. We didn't dwell in caves. You know what I'm saying? These scriptures are our history. So hey, man, you did that's why we got to get up out of here, man. Esau and his bullshit educational system. It's the cause for a lot of confusion. That's why this place is called Babylon the Great. Babel means confusion. This is the city of confusion, man. But this is Job 30 and verse 5. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yet children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Now, verse 6 goes into how they were pushed and driven forth from among men into to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rocks. That lines up with Revelations 20 and 1 through 3. And also, let's see, we living in that little season with Satan, that dragon, which that's Esau, the so-called white man, dealing with the elites. These everyday Edomites, they not much of a problem at all. Where our beef is with the elites. They're the ones who pushed out the deception. They're the ones who spearheaded us into slavery, the Amalekites. They're the issue, the elite of Esau. And we have the basis of men ruling over the earth, but who gave him that power? Hey, the Lord loosed him. You know what I'm saying? After that 1,000 years, the Lord loosed Esau and allowed him to deceive. What do the scriptures tell you? The deceived and the deceiver are his. So Esau ain't nothing but the Lord's sword, man. But he done got proud, and the Lord finna get ready to sit him down in the dust. This is Daniel 4 and 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. Salakia. So Esau, you didn't just take us down because you the great and powerful Oz, man. The Lord gave you the power to do that because we're stronger than these people, and eventually the Lord's going to give us the power to subdue them, as it is written. We're not just going to take Esau down, man. We don't need just reparate. And that's why Jake don't know nothing, man. Scriptures tell you Yahweh Shai is going to inherit all nations, and we're going to inherit what Yahweh Shai is going to inherit. Lord willing, we're of the elect. Hey, man, we don't want reparations from just Esau. We want the Lord is going to give the whole world into our hands, man. All these other nations will be under us. And that's what we looking forward to. We don't want no damn 5 states. We don't want a piece of this, garbage ass kingdom, man. We want, Yahweh Shah to come back and establish the kingdom of heaven. That's what we look forward to. Fuck this place, man. Again, Salakia, excuse my language, but I'm gonna go ahead and I think that's all I had, for this particular lesson. Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Lord willing, this is edifying, and until the next one, I say shalom.